Yo, what's good YouTube? My name is Yudiu Chia, and you see the title of the video, you see what's on screen right now. We just got some massive patch notes for the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero update coming on December 12th. We got this announcement that we were gonna get an update for the game in December, and here it is. It's almost on the way. It's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning right now at the time of this recording, as they just wanted to drop this now, and I was about to go to bed too, but thankfully I'm here for it now, and we're gonna read up on these patch notes because just skimming through it so far, it seems like a pretty massive update. So we're gonna go ahead and see just how good this is looking. And I know it's been a really long time since I last uploaded, but we're gonna talk about that as we go through the patch notes and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what's going on. Alright, so a free update for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero drops on December 12th, and this is going off a different time zone. But yeah, be on the lookout for that, and we can go ahead and check out the first thing, which is game mode adjustments. Battle, all stages are now available for offline P1 versus P2 battles. So originally in the split screen mode, the offline battle, it was just the hyperbolic time chamber, but now you can play on any different stage, because originally this game wasn't going to have offline mode like that, but then they ended up adding it when they saw how many people wanted to see it. And moving on, we have functionality adjustments. Battle setup, a function allowing you to change a character's display method has been added. The My Sets function has been added for team members. I'm not quite sure what this means, but if this is what I think it is, I think what they're doing is they're just sorting the character and its transformations to like one thing. So like, for example, like GT Goku, you have GT Goku and then all his transformations of Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3, and Super Saiyan 4. I think it's just going to be under that category, and then if you click on the character, you can then pick it like that instead of it just taking up roster slots like how it is on the menu, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but who knows. And then the My Sets function has been added for team members. I'm not really quite sure what this means. I guess we'll have to see what this is when it comes out. But moving on, we have ranked/player match. You can now skip the intro battle animations. Require both players to input the skip command. Now, I don't like the fact that you have to require, like it's requiring both players to skip. However, thank God. This has been a problem since launch, and it's only now just getting fixed, but finally we can skip intros. Now, I'm sure nobody wants to watch these intros at this point because we've been forced to watch them for so long, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't like the fact that both players have to skip it. I'm just like, I feel like anybody's gonna want to skip this, but anyways, but you know what? The changes here, I'm very happy about that. That's very nice to see. And then moving on, we have player match. You can now set your team to hidden or revealed to your opponent when editing your team. Huh, that's interesting. So now you're gonna be able to see what your opponent's team is looking like. That's actually really interesting. I thought that this would be something really good for like DP battle, like being able to see your opponent's team, because you know, DP battle was starting to turn into something where like a lot of people were just putting on a bunch of 2 DP calls characters on their team and stuff like that. And you know, you're pretty much playing a guessing game because you don't really know who's on their team, like what their team is looking like, until you actually like go through the characters. So this is actually going to be rather interesting. Yeah, we'll see how this change is looking like. I think it would be better to just be able to see what the opponent's team is looking like from the start, but that's just me. And then moving on, we have custom battle. Text can now be sorted alphabetically. I really did not touch custom battle at all, so I don't really know what this does. Hopefully this is something good for the people that have done custom battle. And then options, you can now set the battle camera distance to be closer. Huh, okay, that's interesting. I'm still not really understanding the battle setup over here. I'm not really understanding this change too much, but if it's what I said it was earlier, then that's a really good quality of life change, because that way, like sorting through the character and its transformations and stuff like that, and just going through all the different characters on the roster would just be a lot easier. But we'll see fully what this change is when it drops. And then of course, finally, thank God, we're able to skip intros. It's been months now at this point, and you're able to skip intros. Now, battle system adjustments. Now, this is going to be really interesting right here, because we've been talking about a lot of the adjustments that need to be made with the gameplay and stuff like that, and we'll see what it is that they did for this patch. High speed Dragon Dash, new action. The quick movement action High speed Dragon Dash, where you can move quickly towards your opponent, has been added. Perform with R2 holding X, PS5, or RT holding A, Xbox Series X/S. So they just straight up added something brand new. Like, that's actually rather interesting. I don't know how that's gonna look like, or I don't know if this is just a returning mechanic from the older Tenkaichi games, but This seems rather interesting. I definitely can't wait to see what this looks like. But wow, they're actually adding like something new retroactively into the game, something like this. Who knows? Maybe this could be really good. Maybe this could be useless. I don't know. But that's interesting, the fact that they're even adding something brand new. And then for smash attack, you will no longer be stunned when being hit by a rush ki blast when charging a smash attack. So when you're charging up a smash attack, you used to be able to get knocked out by a ki blast, and now you're not going to be able to? Huh. Well, I feel like was that a thing back in the old Tenkaichi games? I feel like that was. So if that is something that was in the older games, they finally brought it into this game. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really too sure, but that's interesting. And then the second note is when charging a smash attack during a rush attack, charge time reduction based on hit count has been increased. I don't really know how significant this really is, because I personally never really used these smash attacks like super often. But sounds like this could be, sounds like it's a good thing. It sounds like it's a good thing. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it sounds like a good thing. And moving on, we have rush ki blast. The time between being able to fire the next rush ki blast after firing the maximum consecutive amount at once, different for each character, has been increased. If I'm reading this right, because yeah, they're increasing the time in which you're able to fire another rush ki blast. And as y'all know, ki blasts in this game are really, really strong, like extremely strong. And it seems like, yeah, they're going about nerfing these ki blasts in an interesting way. And I want to know what that looks like. And then rush ki blast deflection. You can now move while deflecting rush ki blast. Oh my God. If this is exactly what I think it is, my goodness, bro. My goodness. I really hope that this is exactly what I think it is, because y'all already know the exact situation I'm finna bring up. So you've been in a situation before where you're in a match and your opponent is in sparking mode and they're just spamming ki blast and they're making you hold that because you're just stuck in that blocking animation because you can't deflect the ki blast while moving and stuff like that. And if this is exactly what I think it is, you will now be able to deflect ki blast while moving. And that's massive, because that way you don't get locked in that animation and you're not having to hold an ultimate now, because that's what a lot of players would do. They would just spam the ki blast while in sparking, locking you in the animation and then going straight into the ultimate, and there's really nothing you could do about that. So if this is exactly what I think it is, this is a massive, massive change. And it seems so far like things are in the right direction, because again, ki blast was one of the things that I felt like needed to get adjusted in this game. And it's looking like they did the right things. But again, this is going to be better showcased when we have the patch on December 12th. Now, moving on, we have steps, 2 bullet points. We have the first one: you will now no longer be able to be hit by certain attacks immediately after performing a step. And also for the second one, rush ki blast and smash ki blast can now be evaded. I do wish this was a bit more clear. Like, what do you mean certain attacks? Like, I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that necessarily mean? Like, are you gonna be like, are there certain moves that like you can now evade? Like, I'm not really too sure, but this sounds like a pretty massive change. And because like, I will say sidesteps were very interesting. Like, they work most of the time, but then, you know, you had some times where you would get hit despite the fact that you sidestepped the attack, you saw it coming. So if that's what I think it is, because this game did have a couple moments where, yeah, you would sidestep, have a perfect sidestep and still get hit somehow. Maybe this is what I think it is, and that's a massive fix. And then we have Z Burst Dash. The amount of ki consumed when activating it has been increased. Wow, this is crazy right here. This is crazy right here, because Z Burst Dash is a lot of people's entry, my entry too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you get yourself going. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you can, you know, sidestepping and all that other stuff, but like, I wonder how much ki it's going to cost now, because I feel like it already costed like a decent amount, but it seems like, yeah, if it's gonna cost like maybe like 2 bars, who knows, man? Like, that could be game changing. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Z Burst Dash is like a whole ki bar. If they increased it to 2, then yeah, that's a massive change. Maybe like 1.5 sounds more reasonable, but we'll see. Like, it's probably 1.5. I'm pretty sure it costs 1 to Z Burst Dash, but that 1.5 could make all the difference, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see what's going on with that. And moving on, we have Burst Smash. Ki will no longer be consumed when activating it and will instead consume an amount based on the distance traveled. So Burst Smash, if I'm not mistaken, this is when you did Vanishing Assault and then did the follow-up after. So pretty much the Ki is not going to get consumed when you use this, but rather, yeah, when you travel a certain distance, that's when the Ki will get consumed. Which I don't know how I feel about that, because a lot of players would be mashing the hell out of Vanish Assault. So I don't know if this is then going to allow like Vanish Assault mashing like for free. We'll see though. Typically I usually hit my opponents out of their Vanishing Assault whenever they are mashing it, because like I'll pay attention to their Ki and I see that their Ki went down because they were mashing it. We'll see what happens with that though. I don't really know how significant this Burst Smash change is, but we'll see. And then moving on, we have Blast. So I'm assuming the super attacks. Damage has been increased when using a boost. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like the boost damage was already really strong, especially on particular super attacks. I don't know that this was necessary, but hey. And then Z-Search. Z-Search will no longer lose track of your opponent when characters are swapped. Oh my god, what a massive change. This was so annoying to deal with in DP battle and team battles. And then also for the second note, you will now quickly regain sight of your opponent if they enter your line of sight from the front when Z-Search is not locked onto them. Oh my god, this is a massive change. This is a massive change because Z-Search was broken, and not in the good way. It was legit broken, like it didn't want to work even though my opponent is right in front of me. Like we all experience that, where our opponent is right in front of us and it's just not locking on, and I just don't understand like what was going on with that, because that was never that big of an issue in the older games. Like in the older games it would lock on pretty fast. So man, massive change. I like this. And then Z counter. Oh boy, the input window has been shortened. Z counter will become more difficult to perform if performed consecutively. Ki consumed has been increased when successfully performing a Z counter. Skill count increased speed has been reduced when successfully performing a Z counter. Vanish battles are officially cooked. This was a massive issue, like a massive issue. It was fun to watch like on day one, and then it quickly got boring extremely fast. And the fact that they adjusted this the way that people have been asking for, like this is all we could have asked for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm hoping to see a little bit more, but I'm not gonna lie, so far this seems like a really good step in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how you adjust the Vanish battles correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like I like this a lot. This is really good. I'm really a fan of this. Like this is really good. Like I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I would legitimately get into Vanish battles on purpose sometime because I wanted to build skill count, because I realized how much skill count you build off of this. So this is a massive change right here. Obviously the Ki consumed as well, like massive change as well too, because that way these Vanish battles are not going on forever. If they do manage to go on for a long time, they're not going on forever. And it's just like Tenkaichi 3, where the Vanish window gets tighter and tighter the longer it goes on. Really good change. Big fan of this. Like this is going to make the gameplay a little bit more entertaining now. And then moving on, we have Revenge Counter. Skill count consumed when using Perception against Revenge Counter has been reduced from 2 to 1. I don't really think this is that massive of a change. I'm not gonna lie to you, bruh. Like it's a change. You know what I'm saying? It's a change. I just don't think that like Revenge Counter. This is not the changes I was expecting Revenge Counter to get. I honestly think Revenge Counter is one of those things that should probably be stronger considering how much resources it costs. But instead it's getting a kind of a nerf from what it seems like. And then rush attacks during sparking mode. Gradual damage reduction of consecutive hits have been increased. Okay, so they're actually scaling now whenever you do a combo in sparking mode. That's really good. That's actually really good. That is massive, because when you got into sparking mode, man, if you didn't super counter and they launched you into that ultimate, you were cooked. I wonder how much of a damage reduction this is going to be, because characters like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Vegito and all that other stuff, they used to capitalize crazy on this. I would know. I was playing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So I want to see just how much this damage falls off to. I'm looking forward to seeing this. And then character switch. Health recovery rate by standby characters have been reduced. Massive change, especially in something like DP battle where, you know, you would go hide your character, go recover a lot of health. Like, this is a really massive change as well too. Like, this is something you like to see right here too. Like, I can't explain to you the amount of times, like, for example, I would have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in DP battle. I'd switch him out into my other character, and then I'd bring him back in and he's back to a bunch of health. It's like, it was pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty crazy. And then I also just didn't realize that I skipped over combos before I went over to character switch, but we're going to go over combos now. The final attack of aerial combos and aerial slash combos will no longer be interrupted by guarding. I didn't even know you could do this before. This is actually really interesting. I did not even know you could do that. I'm going to be honest. And Z-Burst Dash giant characters. The tackle done by giant characters using Z-Burst dashes is now guardable. Massive change. Great change, man. Holy hell. Because yeah, there was a lot of you players out there just using giant characters and abusing that mechanic in particular, like Z-Burst Dash, because you couldn't block it, you couldn't get out of the way. It was just annoying as hell. Now you can actually block it. Great change. And we aren't done just yet, as we've got some massive changes over here from what I was able to quickly glance at. Skill adjustments. Skills that cause instant sparking mode. Skill count consumed has been increased. Massive, bro. There are so many characters in this game with insta sparking moves, and now that getting increased. I wonder by how much it's getting increased by, but depending on how much it is, this is massive. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Broly, a bunch of different characters. Like, we're easily able to get to this. So to see it change now, really good. Skills that increase the stats in general. Skill count consumed has been decreased. Now, this is interesting because depending on the character, I feel like this could be, you know, advantageous to them, or like whatever the case may be. We'll see how massive this change ends up being. And then everybody's favorite, after image strike. Effect duration has been reduced to 10 seconds and will be removed if your opponent uses perception or you are under the effect. So it went from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. That's a massive difference. That's going to make a big difference. 1, 2. So after image strike will be removed if your opponent, uses perception. So if the opponent that's using after image strike uses perception, they don't have after image anymore. I mean, I feel like you didn't see many people even use perception while they have after image strike, unless I'm understanding this wrong and this is like, if you use perception then like it goes away. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. I'm pretty sure I read it right the first time, but nonetheless though, this even getting reduced to 10 seconds is a really crazy change. Like, this is going to matter a lot, and the fact that they even addressed this immediately goes to show. And then moving on, we have yet another skill that was very controversial. False courage. Skill count consumed has been increased from 1 to 2. Androids 19 and 20 used to massively abuse this skill right here, get their armor and stuff like that, because it was just 1. Now granted, 2 is still not that much, but regardless, it's like you're not just constantly getting it over and over. It's like, all right, if you have 2, you're going back down to 0, and it's going to take you a little bit to get to 2. And then we have technique. All I need is 5 seconds. This is Super Saiyan 4 Goku's buff. And I never used to use this because it only lasted for 5 seconds and it really didn't do much. But skill count consumed has been increased from 3 to 2, and status increase upon activation has been increased. Oh, so it doesn't just last 5 seconds anymore. Just look at that. That's actually pretty crazy. And then Stardust Barrier. This is Gogeta's barrier move that he uses, Gogeta Blue, I'm pretty sure. And it is you can now activate it while receiving melee attacks from the front. That's a massive change. So he pretty much has a get off me tool now. Like now he has legitimate get off me tool. And then blast adjustments. Long range blast and ultimate blast. Speed has been reduced. Wow. So does this mean like all beams are not as fast as they once were? So like, you know, anything like from a Kamehameha to like Big Bang attack, Final Flash, like is that what that is? Like, that's interesting. And then Super Vegito, final Kamehameha. Ki consumed and damage has been increased. Damage has been increased. Now the ki, now I'm sure this probably costs like 4 ki now, but damage has been increased too? Damn. And then we have Goku Mini, Goku Daima, whatever you want to call them. Quick Rush. Trajectory can now be changed while rushing. So you can guide the rush attack that he has, which is not a lot of characters have. Some characters do have it, some characters don't, but he can now change it. And Mr. Satan Present Bomb increased ending lag after activation. Well, he needs anything he can get because Mr. Satan is pretty bad in this game. And we got some character adjustments. Androids 19 and Dr. Gero. Health/ki amount absorbed on successful throw has been adjusted. This is hopefully not as strong as it once was because this shit was really strong. And then Dragon Dash, Quick Ascend, and Quick Descend now consume ki. Oh my god. Dude, I'll never forget when I made the discovery, like when I'm seeing these players do this, and it's not costing ki. I don't know what they were thinking when that happened, when making this game. I don't know why they let that slide, but it's now fixed. Thank God. These characters will not be as broken, because it still sounds like they're gonna be like pretty solid for the most part, but because from my understanding, the false courage stuff did not get nerfed 100%. Like, they'll still have the armor and stuff, but we'll see. And then we have second form Cell. You can now escape the throw. He had an inescapable throw. Didn't know that because nobody plays second form Cell. And then we have Cooler. Amount of health restored upon transforming has been increased, so he gets more health when he goes into his final form. That's pretty crazy. How much health did he get? Did he get like 4.5 instead of a full 4 when he transformed? Interesting. Giant characters. Increase the time it takes to charge a smash attack and reduce its power. Pretty crazy, but also fair. Great Ape Vegeta / Dr. Wheelo. Maximum health has been reduced. So I'm assuming they went from 4 health bar characters to 3 now, which I wonder why just them and not every other giant character. But then again, there's really not that many giant characters, and I guess the giant characters that are in the game, I guess, are justified to have the health that they have. Who knows? And then other, we have improved performance and ease of use. And that is pretty much it, y'all. That is all of the patch notes. I mean, y'all already know the biggest heavy hitters. We're gonna go over them again. The biggest heavy hitters right here: Androids 19 and 20, or Dr. Gero, whatever you want to call them. Dragon Dash, Quick Ascend, Quick Descend. Now consuming ki, and their grabs are not going to absorb as much health and ki now, which is pretty freaking crazy. I think this one's also one to look out for as well too. Long range blast and ultimate blast. I think this is one to look out for sure, on whether or not, you know, these are gonna matter. I think this is one to look out for. After image strike going from 15 to 10 seconds, this is a massive change. Like, this is an incredible change, and you're definitely gonna feel the difference on this for sure, without a doubt. False courage going from 1 to 2. I think you'll definitely feel the difference on this as well. I think it's still going to be pretty strong as long as you still have like the armor that comes with it, with Androids 19 and 20. But if they remove that, then bruh, I mean, fair game, I guess. And then yeah, skills that cause instant sparking mode, that getting increased is going to be massive for a bunch of different characters that take advantage of that. Like, there's a lot of characters in this game that really take advantage of that, so that's going to be really interesting. Like Teen Gohan, Broly, Gogeta, like a bunch of those characters have that, so that's going to be really interesting for sure. And yeah, obviously the Z-Burst dash from giant characters, this being guardable now, massive character switching with the health recovery rate going down, really good. The fact that sparking mode combos, the rush attacks, are going down in damage, this is also going to be a game changer as well too. You know, Z counters, the Vanish Wars are pretty much gone now. Like, they're not going to be an issue as much as they were before, and Z search is working properly from what it's going to look like. The fact that we can skip intros now is really good. Like, these are all steps in the right direction. I think there are a lot of changes I would have liked to have seen to like super counter, perception, and a couple other changes that I can go over. But for the most part though, this is a step in the right direction. This could be something really good for the game, could breathe some life back into the game. As you know, a lot of people were starting to slow down on it. I definitely slowed down on it. As you can see, I didn't really upload for a long time. I didn't upload for a month because I just was slowing down on this game entirely. And yeah, hopefully this breathes some life into the game, man, because again, this is a step in the right direction. And I think as long as they keep it that way, the next update in which they might potentially adjust super counter and perception, things can go really well. It's like they're definitely listening, because again, a lot of people were very vocal about, you know, a lot of the changes that needed to happen mechanically in this game, and so far it seems like they're going in the right direction. So gotta give them their credit, gotta be happy with what they've done with this so far. And let me know, are you interested in hopping back into the game? I'm thinking I'm gonna dabble back into the game a little bit more now with this patch coming up, and seeing what the game feels like with this new patch, seeing if it's really that much different, or if it's like a little different but more or less still a lot of the same general issues that I have. We'll see. But again, like I said, I would have liked to have seen more changes to super counter and perception, but hopefully that's something that they adjust in another patch. But yeah, that pretty much does it for all the patch notes. Links in the description down below if you want to go see these patch notes for yourself. And yeah, with that being said, that's gonna be the end of the video. And we got a couple Sparking Zero videos coming really soon. I won't say what it is, but we got a couple little Sparking Zero videos coming really soon. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you guys are new here and looking forward to some more content on this channel, as I got some stuff coming real soon, be sure to hit the subscribe button. With that being said, it's gonna be the end of the video, and I hope you guys take it easy.